Hey, we're recording now, so look at that, we're recording. Hello, everybody, hello, hello, hello.
Just give me a second. Hey, Google, stop music. Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stick It to the Manga, your weekly manga podcast, where each week we talk about a new manga. This week, we're talking about Food Wars, or, in its original translation, Shokugeki no Soma.
So is this about food going to war? I
Yeah.
don't know. You'll have to see.
This is just fighting foodons.
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Gone sexual! Fighting
Anyway,
Foodons is a really old anime from like the early 2000s, like late 90s, and it had like I think only 3 volumes for the manga. Basically, it's kind of like people cook and then there's like these cards that like they throw into the cards, and then the food comes alive with racial stereotypes.
Yikes.
Okay.
The main character's main food on is called Fried Ricer. And all he says is Fried Ricer. In like a...
So he's like a Pokemon.
Yeah. And he's just like a dude whose head is a plate of fried rice with eyes. Wearing like a kung fu outfit.
Ow.
This is not what today's podcast is about. It's about Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma.
I'm gonna read the summary now. Yukihiro Soma has grown up working in the kitchen of their family's restaurant with his father. When he graduates from middle school, Soma has lost hundreds of times to his father in food battles. After graduating middle school, his father goes abroad to work and tells Soma that he will never beat him as a chef if he does not graduate from Totsuki Culinary Academy. Follow Soma on his journey to become top chef at this elite cooking school. Also, not safe for work warning for foodgasms and hentai similar scenes.
He's lost to his dad almost 800 times.
Yes. Honestly, he's tenacious as hell, and respect.
Didn't he win like 76 times or something like that?
No, he's never won against his dad.
But he was bragging about how many times he won.
Not against his father.
Oh, wait, no, maybe it was a draw. Draws yeah. I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but he's never won.
Yeah.
Okay.
His win-loss ratio is awful.
Yeah. This was my pick because I really like the manga. It's really pretty, and I love the anime a lot. This is one of those few mangas that the anime and the manga are pretty much the same thing for the most part, and it's great. I love it. So I think now we're going to start going into spoiler territory, so if you have not read the first 3 volumes or seen season 1, you may want to turn off and catch up and come back to our podcast.
Oh yeah. Also, I want to add that the artist for Food Wars started by doing hentai, so...
He did?
Yeah.
I knew it. Literally just watching it, I was like, this man has drawn hentai. Let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
He probably has written about it somewhere in an interview or something, but I just haven't looked it up, about why he wanted to do a cooking manga plus, and that's one of the reasons I picked it, is because that was my first dream as a kid, was to be a chef, and I really like cooking still, and I love it, and I like how there's a storyline to it, and I think it's fun, and it has like a hint of romance as you get on to the later chapters, so, you know.
Well, I mean, Gordon Ramsay would probably not be too impressed with the anime, though. He would probably go in a fit of rage.
Why?
because I mean they make cooking look so easy.
Yeah, but
Like
that's kind
like
of the point is that these are all supposed to be fairly very talented high school students. Like they're better than the average chef by a lot.
yeah, but I mean
It's also a show, my dude.
yeah, but
it's not supposed to be realistic.
chapter one, where the people destroy the shop, and they just show the first scene where he wrapped up what was it, bacon
Potatoes.
and
It's
potato.
potatoes wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, like that seems so simple and so like anyone like not anybody can make that, but they make it seem like anybody can make that, and they make it seem so simple, and they make it like the foodgasm for that one was way too like overreacted, especially over just bacon and potato.
There
Well,
was
that's the
more
thing
than
is
just
that
that.
yeah, there was more than just that, Kevin. Also, the whole kind of point is that it makes it look easy, and I think the fact that it looks so easy is supposed to show how amazing Soma is as a middle schooler at cooking. Like, I think that's the point.
I definitely don't think it makes it look easy because you see every other person that isn't like Soma like struggle. Like they're like this is so hard and someone's like this is a breeze like
Yeah, I mean, this is skipping
Yeah,
ahead,
but
but when you get to the training camp, which is like
it's the last arc that
the
we're in
last
right now.
volume. Yeah, the last volume when you get to the training thing and after the first day, they have to cook 50 meals, and even amongst all of his really talented classmates, like he is one of the best at just cooking because that's just and I feel like it makes it look easy because in terms of it doesn't show all the details, but in a way it still makes it look hard. It shows you a lot of real cooking techniques and cutting styles that are not easy to do. And I guess maybe because I know a lot about cooking because I watch a lot of cooking shows and I know the techniques that I
Mm-hmm.
know they're not easy, so they don't look easy to me even though they're simplified because it's a manga. There's only so much you can show of correct cooking in an anime.
Yeah, I think if it was just all like showing the entire cooking process like step for step for step, it'd be very boring.
it, it just it wouldn't be a cooking manga, like a story about cooking manga. It would only be cooking.
It'd be a
it'd be a recipe book.
yeah.
Which they do have sometimes in some of the volumes. They give you recipes. I think that's really cool.
Um there's actually
Yeah,
like
but
extra things like dedicated just to be like here's this recipe, here's this recipe, here's this recipe. Those are the big ones from this volume. Here you go.
It's great.
It's I also have
and
watched people make the gotcha pork roast, which is the potatoes in
and,
bacon,
Mhm.
and it's like
and
it's there's so many ways that it can go wrong.
Yeah.
mhm. And like it's really like in the beginning it's really interesting too because like like Soma is definitely interesting. He's a middle schooler, and you think, how did he get so talented from this rundown looking shack and stuff like that? And we find out in the later volumes why, but I mean, it's still run down, middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
family owned.
His
but you get
family-owned restaurant
you
wasn't
get
run down.
it wasn't run down. It was
It
just
was really
small.
kept up. It was just a small restaurant, which most
And
restaurants in
also,
Japan are pretty small.
yes, also, by the way, you get hints at that without giving spoilers past season 1, volume 3, or season 1 and volume 3, because you see how many times they battle and you see the foodgasm, so you realize that the food is so amazing that they're having this NSFW reaction to it. So you know that the father is amazing. Like you know he something is up with him. And then when he disappears without really telling his son, which one was weird, but whatever, moving past that.
Actually,
he
it
makes a
was
monk
He
go.
makes a
He makes a monk ruin his fast. And he's in New York City and he's cooking for like multiple famous people. So you know that something is amazing about him, even before they tell you why. Like that becomes really clear even in the first few volumes that we read.
At least we got to see a little bit of Soma's father before he went overseas. Because I mean, most anime middle schoolers and high school students are just by themselves. We sometimes hear about their parents being overseas, but we don't understand exactly why they're overseas. But this one, it's like dry cut. I'm overseas
Hashtag
because of blank.
hashtag last week Conan Detective. Yeah. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, right. Kevin, I definitely agree with you. I like the fact that we at least got to meet the father and then get a little bit of why he went overseas. There is still that, like, what the heck is going on? But at least it's not a mystery like Detective Conan was of
Well,
the parents. They
Yeah.
just don't
in Detective
exist.
Conan, they were overseas because they were doing a tour for their books. They were
But did
authors.
they say that in the first three volumes?
Yep, they did.
It did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we met them though, because I don't even recall reading that in Detective Conan.
We didn't. Did we? We didn't even meet them in Conan.
No, we didn't.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
they
That's
were
what I
already
mean.
overseas. I think they
Yeah,
said
and
that
there's
in chapter 1 or 2.
okay, that's probably why I forgot.
Yeah.
But there's lots of other animes and mangas, like Kevin mentioned, where it's just like, oh, here's a middle schooler slash high schooler who just lives alone.
In like 90% of them.
Yeah, like I mean, a lot. It's like, what about the parents? Bring back parent characters.
Usually
Bring
when
back.
Kill them off
usually
like
when
Frozen.
yeah, it was like usually when parent characters are around, they get killed off. FMA.
Yeah.
Stereotypical mom who dies with the hair tie, side ponytail, cries in the distance. But
Do
I
you
thought
think
it was
one of
Usually
really
these
it's a
meals would
white.
cost you an arm and a leg?
stop. It's not funny.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
it
we could go
hurts.
all
Oh, it
Tokyo Ghoul
hurts.
on that. We could go on Tokyo Ghoul on that and make it turn it into a ghoul restaurant.
No, in
Ew.
Tokyo Ghoul, their meal is an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I know, but could you imagine combining Tokyo Ghoul and Food Wars? You would have like this. You would have like
I think that's just hentai, Kevin.
Yeah.
That's just
no.
gore
We
hentai.
actually talked about this on our Tokyo Ghoul podcast
It's just
episode.
gore hentai. Okay, moving on.
Out of all
One
of the meals that get cooked, which one do you want to try the most?
Oh, that's a tough one, especially since there's so many meals. It's hard to
probably
keep up with.
The Dawn bowl. That's repetitive. When you say Dawn, it means bowl. So saying Dawn bowl is stupid, but whatever. I
You
did
can
it to
say
myself.
Dunburi.
Dunbury. Okay, I'll say that. Probably his Donbury. Because it's like a full meal and also it's meat and rice, and I like that. And I'm not a big fan of seafood, so. But all of it always looks so good. Literally all the food, I'm like, give it to me,
Are
please.
you talking about that
The
like
one that
meats?
he
Just
used
the whole,
against Nikumi.
yeah, I'm just trying to think. Is that the one with the gelatin,
No,
chicken
no,
flavored
no.
cubes? No,
That's the beef one.
because that one feel like that one would be interesting to try too.
The one you're thinking of is the one he uses to get into the academy.
Yeah, that's the egg and rice, which is funny because it looks really pretty to me, but I guess because considered we're considered Western and we don't tend to use a lot of raw eggs and things. Do you notice that? So when they pour like raw eggs over rice, I'm always like,
Well, the eggs weren't raw when you poured them
no,
on.
not I know, sorry, not in that scene, but in general, you see
Oh
it a few
yeah.
times.
Oh yeah.
That's all I meant. Sorry, my brain just made the connection. Though that also looked really good. I'm not a big egg person, though.
Eggs are magical, Gabby. Look.
I like them as an ingredient. I can't eat them by themselves.
Well, I mean, you would be missing out on a lot of cakes and
I did
muffins.
say as an ingredient, Kevin.
I know, I'm just saying if you didn't like eggs.
People that are allergic
You-
to eggs have the most unfortunate life
Well,
when it
yes
comes to
I
and
food
would-
no.
allergies.
But
Yes and
also,
no, but-
being a celiac, though,
What's a
That's-
celiac?
it means you're allergic to gluten.
Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
there's so much support for that out there, though, so it's like...
See, but there used to not be. Like, even 5 years ago, there wasn't. Like, only recently there is.
So when I was going to my summer camp years ago, like maybe 10 years ago, one of the people that worked there was celiac. And I didn't know what that was. That wasn't a thing that people really knew about back then. But
Yeah, no, that's
she
correct.
had a personal bowl for her cereal. She had a personal box of cereal above the staff table, and it was gluten-free Rice Krispies.
Yep.
And I was like,
Huh.
N-
and
my
I'm
cousin,
like, what?
my cousin Jake, she is celiac and she is a type 1 diabetic.
Oh, that's a
Rough.
harsh combination.
I have a friend who
Is
has
it type
MCAD.
1 or is it type
Who has-
1 or type 2 that you can come back from?
Type 2. Type 1
Oh.
is genetic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Type
lovely.
2 is usually your own choices.
My parents.
Yeah.
But Jake, what did you say? You had a friend who...
I have a friend who has MCAD. Do you know what that is?
I'm not... No.
It's mast cell activation disorder. Basically, they're allergic to everything.
Actually, I do think I have heard of that.
So, like, she realized that she had MCAD when she went to eat rice. And rice is a non-allergenic. People aren't allergic to rice, typically. Like, ever. But she was eating rice, and she was having an allergic reaction to the rice. It was plain rice, no salt, no butter, just plain rice. And she was having an allergic reaction. So she was like, I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, sorry, got distracted. Which meal did you want to eat, Jake?
I honestly feel like the gotcha pork roast.
Yeah,
Gotcha
you're right.
pork.
That one was really good. It looked really... Like, the reason why I wanted to
Which
try
one
that
was
one is
that
because I
one?
wanted to know how much the potatoes actually tasted like meat.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about now. Yeah, that one looked really good. Like, it was like, huh. This actually, if this turned out to be an actual pork roast, or like if it would be way more filling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I
if
fucking
it
love
worked-
mashed potatoes,
Yep.
and I love bacon.
I make really good mashed potatoes.
Kevin, which one do you want to try the most?
I don't know. With like I watched the anime, so I'm like further ahead than what we're talking about. So like I'm not too sure which recipes are not.
Well,
In
just
there,
say
'cause-
one. Just think back towards the beginning. Literally just season 1 only.
I think I would want to try like the meat bowl from when like
So
I'm
what
not
I said.
sure-
You're agreeing with me.
like is that the one where they
It was a
like, what's her-
shokugeki. Yes.
yeah I know, and it was with that meat girl, right?
Yes.
Yep.
They called her meat
Nikumi-chan. They called her Meat-chan.
Meat-chan.
Because her name
Okay.
is Nikumi. Or it's similar to
It-
Nikumi, which is the Japanese word
Is
for it.
Mito Ikumi.
But I know Soma jokingly calls her meat, so that's as much as I know. Really, that's how I distinguish her.
When does he ever call her meat?
I don't think he ever calls her Meat.
Or was
He just
that
calls
my
her-
nick?
I think
Maybe
you
I
just call
might-
her that.
Maybe you just call her Meat.
Maybe maybe that would be weird. I think it was my brother who said something about that when he. So, like my brother could be wrong.
Her nickname, her
Sorry, little brother.
people do call her Meat Meat, but not in the show. It's just a fan name.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Because
okay.
her name sounds like meat. So I guess it's close to meat meat, but they're not usually calling her meat. Meat.
Mhm.
Double meat. Okay.
Extra bacon. Sorry.
Okay, can we talk about the Dawn RS's leader?
Wait.
Oh,
Yes, but before we get to that, can we talk about the Star Polaris thing? Like he uses leftover ingredients and uses canned fish, and he gets in, but Megumi had to camp outside for 3 months.
yeah.
I felt so bad
That
for the poor
was-
girl.
She was like, "How many times did it take you?" Oh, just once.
First try. Sorry,
I
what?
love the box that they have in the manga because after it said it was like a few weeks later she realized that he had only used leftover ingredients and she became very upset.
She became even more depressed.
Yes. I was like, oh no.
Oh, that girl does not have luck, and she's clumsy. Holy jeez! Like
She is clumsy, but she's mostly just anxious, if you've noticed. She
if
kind
I-
of ruins it for herself because she gets so nervous.
if I remember correctly, she just has horrible luck too. Or am I thinking of a different character?
No, she does have bad luck as well,
Yeah,
but she
Okay.
also just is very nervous.
yeah. She's definitely got generalized anxiety disorder.
Yep. I'd agree. She's so cute though.
He was
Like
very
I
cute.
love when they were all farming together during that part and Soma realizes that they have like a farm and stuff and she comes out in her little gear and they're like, "You're so refreshing. You're the refreshment of Polar Star Dormitory."
Is that the scene where the guy's like completely nude working in the vegetable garden?
Yes.
He's not completely nude. He's wearing that
A
I don't know
loincloth.
what that's loincloth. That's what it's called.
He's one of my
Well,
favorites. Ishiki.
Ishiki is an amazing character. I agree.
There was a loot crate years ago that you got his apron with the little Kuma bear on it,
Oh my gosh.
and I was like,
You probably ran
amazing.
around the house. You probably ran around the house with that all the time.
No, because I don't have it. I just saw that other
Ah.
people got it. It was one of the things that they advertised as like their previous items. And I was like, oh my god. I did sign up for Loot Crate one time, and I got a JoJo scarf.
Well, I mean, was it Loot Crate or Loot Crate Anime? 'Cause
Loot
there
Anime.
is-
They're the
yeah,
same thing.
And this
And
is not sponsored.
No.
We should say that right now.
no.
Not sponsored.
We would have to say at the beginning that it was sponsored. Legally, we would have to say it at the beginning that it was sponsored. Or we could get sued.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
now
this-
we can talk about Dawn RS, Jake.
I love his hair. That's all I really wanted to say.
Can we talk about how he bandaged it?
Yeah!
After Mikumi cut it off?
She cuts it off with a knife, and then they just tape it back together.
Not just
What did
any
they
knife,
cut?
A cleaver. They
His
cut
hair.
off the Dawn RS club leaders,
His
Hair?
pompadour.
and he just bandages it back.
Oh, that was. I know that scene. What? Why was that? What happened again? They were like Soma was getting into a fight with him, and he was like a rebel or something. I can't remember.
No,
No.
he wasn't getting in a fight with him.
Soma
He was
was
supporting him.
yeah. Soma was like looking. He was like, "Oh, Dawn RS. I'm gonna go check that out because I wanted to make a new Dawn recipe."
Yeah.
And when they were there, Nakumi came in with a bunch of like contractors taking measurements, and like he was like, "Hey, you can't be in here yet. Like I haven't lost yet." and she cuts off his hair with a cleaver because he was talking at her, and she found it disrespectful.
Oh, that was when what was it? May wanted the club for the president for some sort of new thing, but they were fighting over like the Bull Club, I call it, like where they made all the new. That's how they had to make the best bowl meat bowl, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Donburi.
and
leads to that Shokugeki.
I love how in that moment, um, what was her name? Nazuki? No,
Nikumi?
Nikumi uses all this grade A beef and all these ingredients, and then Soma just shows up with just
Bargain
these
bin meat.
yeah, and just kicks her ass using bargained meat and vegetables and
Yeah, I
stuff.
really loved that. I mean, a part of it, he was right. Like, she was only thinking about the meat. It's not just the meat. The dish was a don
Mm-hmm.
buri, which means you have to have a complete bowl.
Yeah.
So she didn't really do much
And
with the rice.
wasn't it also that wasn't one of the other reasons also because dang it, there was something to do with the meats that
Well,
uh
yeah, he used onions as a tenderizer, but that's not what I was referring to.
no, I know that, but I mean there was something about the like everybody was making fun of him because of the bargain meat, but apparently the bowls were supposed to be cheap and easy to make. So that was the whole point of the bowl. So
Yeah,
I
that's the whole
don't
point of a don generally.
yeah, so I'm not so either Soma realized that and was taking that into
He
consideration,
did.
He was.
or he was just just trying to be cheap.
No.
No, they didn't have money. It was the first one.
Yeah. They didn't have much money. They had like, I think it was like, they had like $30, something like that.
Yeah, not a lot.
They'd like, they had like 20,000 yen and some change, basically. No, they had
Yeah,
25,000 yen in bills, and then they had some change.
yeah. I think Nagumi, not Nagumi. Nazuki. No,
Nikumi.
Nikumi.
Nikumi is like she was super wealthy as well, so
Yeah.
that's why she
Yep.
could use all this grade A beef.
Yeah, her family like owns a big meat thing.
And
That's how she has access to it.
it wasn't just
Yeah.
high grade meat, it was the highest grade of meat.
Yep.
So in other words,
A5 Wagyu.
she already failed the purpose of what a dawn is.
So,
Yeah. And I mean, we haven't got there, so I'm not going to do spoilers, but further on, during Shokugekis that Soma has, this is one of the reasons he gets farther in a lot of cases, because he takes into account what the dish means more than other people. It's a common theme.
Yeah, but doesn't he at like I'm not sure if this is part of the training camp.
Wait, if you're gonna
If
if you're gonna spoil something, we need to do an extra spoiler warning.
okay.
yeah, because
I
I'm not sure about this one.
I just want to chime in for a second. Um, the price of Wagyu boneless ribeye roast A5 uh is $83.83 per pound
Yep, sounds about
from Costco.
accurate.
So
Yep.
it's probably not actually that great.
It's
Oh,
expensive
Yeah.
as all heck.
And it's not going to be great because once you freeze beef, it loses a lot of its goodness.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you want really good beef or steak,
You need to go
go
to
to a
Japan.
proper And not even that. You just need to go to a restaurant that gets never frozen, like a
Yeah.
place that's famous for steak.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just butcher your own cow.
You have
You would
to
still have to find
do
a
a
right
whole
cow,
different,
though.
like...
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into creating Wagyu beef. Like, you have to farm
Yes.
the cow properly, you have to raise it properly from birth, and give it the proper treatment. I think that you even have to, like, massage the cow.
You do. Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into Wagyu beef. I have
So
a
pretty
story...
much you're paying for. So pretty much you're paying for, a glorified pet that you're going to eat.
I mean,
I mean,
it's
that's
kind of
farming.
like that usually. Yeah.
That's kind of just farming in general.
Yeah, I mean, even so, like, you go to any, like, really expensive restaurant, like, that's common.
Yeah.
Like, spending over $1,000 for a meal, yeah, that's typical.
Yeah.
That's pretty much rich blood, though.
Also, just
I don't-
high class.
Also,
I don't know if we'll ever get there, guys, but we'll try.
I'm getting there.
Yikes.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna be able to eat Wagyu beef every week. That's my goal.
Oh, that would be great.
I may have to go solo to reach that, but sacrifices have to be made for Wagyu beef.
So you're just using us as a stepping stool to fame? How insensitive can you be, Jake? I thought we were podcast friends.
Look, it's Wagyu beef.
If you're gonna
Are
make
you
that
Wagyu
joke,
beef, Kevin?
can you at least say podcast pals?
Okay,
We're
Well,
pod pals.
I'm all about
We're
that
pod-
alliteration.
We're pod pals.
Pod pals? That
Well-
sounds weird. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I just thought of a tripod as well.
I thought
So-
about capsule hotels. We all sharing one capsule. Pod pals.
How the... That would be a squishy fit. Like, I don't think we would be able to do it. Like, all our microphones and everything would be interacting, and we would just be making this big voice loop.
It'd just
I
be
say
one
this-
microphone.
I say this with little disrespect. I do not want to be that close to y'all.
Fine.
Well-
Me and Kevin can share a pod.
Thank God. I'll be in my own pod.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When
I don't know. Are we gonna go all welfare? Because I mean, the the pods are really small, Jake. Like, we might need to get our own pods each, unless we welfare it and share, like you were suggesting.
we can share.
Yeah, sharing is caring, bro.
We're now getting into NSFW territory once more.
Anyway, when they're doing the planning for Soma's donburi,
Yeah.
my favorite meal is actually mentioned. My favorite donburi
What is it?
is the Oyako donburi.
What's dumbly? Are those the bowls?
Yeah.
Like the-
Yes.
Donburi
Don?
is like rice with meat in a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
okay,
Don just means bowl, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Oyako basically translate to like parent and child. It's chicken and egg
Oh,
over rice with vegetables.
so child and adult over rice?
Parent and child over rice.
That's such a weird.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's a chicken with her egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you know it's that child? Like, how do you know it's that chicken's child? You can't
That'd
say
be
it's
dedication.
parent.
Dude, it's literally just like wordplay. Like, chill.
I know, okay, but it's a very inaccurate if it's not the chicken's actual
But it's not
child.
even a child ever, because they're not fertilized eggs. So it doesn't
Kevin,
matter. It's
I'm
just a
signing
play
you
on
up for
words.
Darwin's game.
I would have to use I would use that money to hire people to do the dirty work for me, and then I would go hide in the bunker like Trump.
Yikes. Okay, moving on. So after that's the first real Shokugeki we see with Soma in it, because the first Shokugeki we see at all, the official one, is during the explanation is when Nakari she takes down a club member from a different club. I forgot what club it was, but
Are
that's
you
the
talking
first
about the main character?
Nikiri.
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 Yeah, that's the first Shokugeki we ever see, but the Dawn one is the first one we see of Soma's.
Every time that I read
Shokugeki.
her name, I kept wanting to say Noriaki, which is a character from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. His name is Noriaki Kakyoin. And I was like, that's every time I saw her name, I was like, Noriaki Kakyoin. Huh. All right. Yep.
How do you know that's not his daughter?
It's different name.
Okay, well, still.
But it had the same. It started with N, and my brain was just like Noriaki. Yep, got it. Noriaki Kakyoin. Got it. Let's go. Good. And I'd have to reread the thing again because I was like, why is Kakyoin in this?
Like anyway. I said, that's his daughter.
All right. Who was your favorite teacher or even alumni that gets featured? Gabi, who's your favorite adult?
I like the original number 1 guy. Buff dude.
Oh, Jin.
Buff dude in the back. Jin. I like him.
He's great.
I think his personality. A lot of them are just obnoxious. I like the girl too, who does the outdoor challenge in the training camp, and has a thing for Megumi. I think she's funny too.
Buff dude? What do you mean buff dude?
He's
Jin.
The leader. He runs
alumni.
all the
he used to be
resorts.
Yeah, he used to be number 1.
We see his dinger.
Oh, okay.
But not actually.
Okay. Jake, who's your favorite adult?
It has got to be the girl who I'm trying to find her name.
The one who has the thing for Megumi?
Yeah.
She was funny.
She was pretty cool.
She oversteps a lot of boundaries, and it's like, can you not? Hinako Inui. Oh, Jin graduated before all the other alumni that are featured in chapters. He was from the 69th generation.
That's right. I forgot.
That's just from a little snippet of the wiki. So this manga is basically just Iron Chef, but with orgasms.
I could see Gordon Ramsay being a teacher and just.
Gordon Ramsay is the teacher that never smiles.
Gordon Ramsay is nice to kids, though. He's really friendly to kids.
Yeah, but I feel out of the teachers that are featured, that's who he would be. He'd be I barely pass people.
Oh, you mean the French guy?
Not the French guy. The teacher that never smiles. The first class that they have.
No, that's who I meant. He did do French cuisine.
Did he? Yeah, that was his
I'm not
specialty.
talking about the alumni who does French cuisine.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Cunty McCunt.
No, I'm not talking about Cunty McCunt.
Who's Cunty McCunt?
The guy that expels Megumi.
Yeah. Which is the very end of Volume 3, which I hated that ending.
Did you say smells?
What?
Megumi?
No, expels.
Expelled. Dude, what?
Oh, expels. I was like, okay. Why did you say smells? I don't remember that.
He does smell somebody, though, and then expels them for smelling like citrus.
He
Yeah,
does do that.
that was kind of weird.
That's gotta suck. At least you can say you weren't expelled for your cooking.
I'd be
Why
more
did the-
pissed. I'd be more pissed if I was expelled because I smelled like citrus that day.
No, I
It
mean,
would
I'm
be-
not saying that that's not fair. I'm saying if you could argue why you were expelled from the school, be like, well, it wasn't because of my cooking.
Yeah.
Once you get over the anger about it, anyways.
It's just like, what did you get expelled for? Smelling like lemon. Because I smelled lemony fresh.
To be fair, he smelt him from across the room, which, if you were standing right next to that guy, imagine how overpowering that is.
It's definitely like that little high schooler who's like, ah, yes, one whole bottle of Axe is perfect for the day. It's like that. I guarantee it.
You don't need a lot of Axe either.
I'm
Like,
aware,
I don't-
but that's how
I
kids
don't-
and boys in middle school
And high
and
school.
high school.
And college.
I said both, not college.
Oh, in college.
I did not experience that at all in college.
It's just because I feel like there's more people that aren't doing that in college.
I experienced no boy who did that in college. But
I
I'm also
went
not
to,
generally getting really close to men in
I
college.
went to a college where there was a lot of like rednecks.
Mhm.
They were clean, but like they were like, "Yep, this is what women like." And like,
Which is really false, by the way. If any of you men out there are wearing a lot of cologne or Axe or whatever and need to hear from a woman that women don't like that much, this is your hint.
So, I mean, I shouldn't bathe every day in the perfume or in Axe like I do.
no, Kevin.
Literally, no. Axe is awful.
Yeah.
I wish I had like a cologne that smelled like cotton candy.
That's
thought you
literally called. You know what you have to do for that, Jake? There's literally so many women's perfumes. Just buy a woman's perfume and then smell like cotton candy.
Yeah, but you would get some weird looks probably.
Dude, I don't
He
care.
would he would probably be like,
delicious.
and he would show how like comfortable he is in his masculinity. No woman is gonna look at Jake weird if he has cotton candy perfume.
Yeah, like if I had a problem, like if I was single and not married, like I'd still wear cotton candy perfume. Like I'm gonna smell delicious. Like you want to smell what like what people want, and who doesn't walk by through the fair, smell cotton candy, and go, I don't want any of that.
Well, I mean, you can always bathe yourself in Soma's food for that same
Dude,
effect.
I wish.
People would like look at you and they would automatically have a foodgasm. Nope, they would smell you and have a
I
foodgasm.
wish.
Do you, Jake?
Yeah.
Do you?
This sounds like the most positive thing that could happen in my life.
What would smelling like what's a famous dish that he did?
Dude,
Okay, let's just
if I could
say
smell
it-
like that dish with the fucking like, if I could smell like the gotcha pork roast, that'd be amazing.
That would be very manly. That's like, I mean, they have bacon cologne.
But it doesn't smell like bacon. It smells like garbage. My friend
I
bought
mean-
me a bacon scented candle for Christmas one year, and I was very excited because I love bacon.
You have to try around. I think some people make good ones and some people don't. I don't know.
And I lit it. Like she opened it like before she gave it to me, and she's like, "This smells awful. I'm giving it to him anyway." And she was like, "Here you go." And I think she forgot about how bad it smelled because I think it had been a couple months. And I opened it right after she gave it to me, and she just breathed, and she was like, "Oh God!" And I was like, "This smells awful." So, have you ever made bacon? Have you ever kept the bacon grease to use in cooking otherwise?
Yep.
Have you ever accidentally left that container out?
I mean, I usually leave it out.
Like you don't
Doesn't.
put your bacon grease in the fridge?
Not always, no. It doesn't
Wait,
usually smell that bad.
people use bacon grease to cook?
Oh yeah, like that's
Oh my god.
that's
Kevin,
super
this
popular.
explains so much about what you said at the beginning of this
Kevin,
manga.
Kevin, do you cook?
No. He does not.
Kevin, do you
I
cook?
can. I prefer to use my Fifth Amendment. I cannot answer this question at this particular time. My lawyers have
You're
told
not
me.
in the United States.
I plead the fifth.
What?
So Kevin cannot cook. This
No,
explains a
I
lot,
can't.
Kevin.
What do you mean? I'm so confused. What do you mean? This explains a lot.
It just does.
It's I don't know. Anyway, this is a really I was like, I kind of wish all of us had never read this before, because we could have that question of like, who do you think like Megumi's gonna make it through? And I mean the answer is obviously yes, because she has Soma's on the line too, so like he has plot armor. The series is named after him.
But
Soma pretty much gets a harem. Let's just be honest. He gets pretty much a harem.
No.
Well,
he just multiple people like him. He doesn't actually get a harem.
I mean, that's what like harem anime basically is, though.
It's not
basically
I guess I was taking the term harem literal, so.
Yeah, it's not as extreme as high school DxD, but I mean, it's still there's still hints of harem, there being a harem there.
Yeah. So thirsty.
So,
thirsty,
what
thirsty.
ship do you like best? Which girl do you like best with Soma? Then.
Oh my god, I like Soma x Nikumi.
What is that voice?
This is my fangirl voice.
Honestly,
it sounds like West Valley.
That's because that's what all fangirls are. They're all from West Valley. Like, oh my god.
Honestly, I don't know which girl would be well suited. Well,
it doesn't matter if they're well suited. I just ask you, which ship do you like best? There's a difference.
That's the thing. All the ships are different. Like, you ship the like each ship is a different ship. Like, for instance,
well, yeah, that's
which
the
ship
point.
do you like the best?
I'm just saying which one you like the best, Kevin. That's literally it.
I like all the ships. Like if we're going to use
Kevin has a
as an
harem.
Example.
Yeah.
Kevin just wants the harem.
Yeah, of course he does. Okay, what about you, Jake?
Yeah, Soma x Nikumi.
Okay, I wasn't sure if
I like
being serious or not.
Cinderella's are good.
Apparently I'm a tsundere to tsundere. Apparently.
I like him with Megumi.
That's also a good one.
Okay. But yeah, I was just curious because, you know me, in my romance. Gotta ask. As I am like a huge shipbuilder, I ship like anything and everything and everyone.
I hate your kind.
I know you do.
Okay, who do you ship Bob the Builder with then, Gabi? Since you ship everything.
Oh, it's gotta be the cement mixer.
Cement mixer?
We're definitely just talking about anime. I also don't actually know. Like, I watched Bob the Builder as a kid, but I don't know any of the people.
My favorite ship for Food Wars is Aldini x Aldini.
Who's that?
That's the twin.
No!
That's the brothers.
That's
That's
awful.
the Italian brothers.
That's terrible.
Well, can we
Oh my gosh,
actually?
can we talk about, sorry, again, spoiler past volume 3 though, when the big brother like gets all fit. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Can we talk about that, please? Because like there's an explanation why it happens, but it's like I wish it was true. Like, do you know how many pounds you would shed during the summer?
Imagine the stretch marks though. Just
Oh,
suddenly bloating up to like 300 pounds.
It was probably more
yeah.
just like up 50, but yeah.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Do you see like the weight, like how he like the body mass of like
It's anime though, it's always dramatized.
yeah, but like if you go from like how he looks, he goes like from like he's got to be at least 300 pounds with his big form, but then he's like maybe like 130, maybe 150 tops
I would
in
say
his
250.
slim
It
form.
really depends on height
Yeah.
too, and it's hard to tell by a drawing because there are some people who are like 200 pounds and they look very skinny just because of their height.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, back to the Megami thing. Yeah, you realize she's gonna be safe, but at the same time, that still made me really anxious because I was nervous for her.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where we're at now, hey?
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
just entering. Will Megumi survive this? And it's going to be an intense thing to find out, hey?
And like there's a little like side like chapter like little panels that like it shows Nikumi like trying on the different bikinis before her Shokugeki like American flag? No. Polka dots? No. Cowgirl tassels? No. I'll go with the flame one so I can fire myself up.
Yeah. Wasn't there also a side story with Chicken? Or is that later on in this
That's later
series?
on.
Ah, okay. I wasn't too sure about if it, like, whereabouts that was.
That's also a really good food though. Chicken karage.
Mm.
It's very good. It's basically just chicken nuggets, but Japanese.
Well, I mean,
It's more
what I,
like boneless chicken wings than chicken nuggets.
mm.
I mean, it depends on what your definition of chicken nuggets is. Mine is just like chicken with some breading.
That's
That
definitely
is
not how
bite
I define
size.
nuggets. So
Bite-sized chicken?
You know, there's actually like a dictionary definition difference between a chicken tender and a chicken like chicken
well, they are
finger.
different. Oh, between tender and finger? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Didn't know
So like
that,
a
but-
chicken tender is just like breast meat, but like a chicken finger can just be like the mushed up paste that you get at McDonald's, but longer.
Ew. Could you
But
imagine
those
if
are chicken nuggets, not tenders.
Yeah, that's
Could
I was
you-
saying, but like they were longer. That'd make them a chicken finger.
sorry to change the subject, but could you imagine if fast food restaurants just became food wars, like literal food wars, just KFC battling Wendy's for territory in a food war?
I think Wendy's and like Pizza Hut should just like fight each other.
Why?
So they both support Donald Trump.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
And you know what? Donald Trump could be like the president of the school.
No. No. I refuse that.
How about we not? Okay. Who is your favorite
bashing
character?
Trump a lot lately.
Who's your favorite character? Everybody.
Go first, Kevin.
Honestly, it was really hard to pick a character. Like, a lot of the girl characters were very unique, and I couldn't decide, but, like, Soma is definite, like, his personality is very funny and, like, confident. Like, I wouldn't say egotistical because like Soma is a kind person. Like, you know what I
He is
mean?
a little cocky though, but he's also kind of ditzy. Like he's kind of airheaded in a way. Like he doesn't realize why challenging them in that way like was obnoxious. Like he just doesn't get it.
Yeah, but he also with it, he's deserving of that arrogance. Like he's pretty much won every single food war, as far as we know.
Thus
Yeah.
far, yeah. He was only in one official Shokugeki in the first 3 volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But he's had like multiple like food battles of like just
yeah.
like somebody friendly challenging him.
Yeah.
Which the first one he lost because it was with his dad.
Yep.
His dad is the only person he hasn't beaten
So far.
thus far. Yeah.
Gabi, who's your favorite
And
character?
My favorite character is probably Soma, but at the same time, I really love Megumi. We've been over this. I have a thing for underdog. And she's so cute and sweet, and I want her to do well.
I like that when she gets nervous, she writes the kanji for man on her hand and eats it.
That is a thing, though, in Japan. Like, that is the thing they do.
I just found it funny because she's like, I'm a man eater.
That is not. That's not safe
comes.
for work.
Megumi, she'll eat you up. Oh, here she comes. She's a nervous wreck.
Or she's a cannibal.
In Japan, students nervous for a presentation are often told to draw the Chinese character for person 3 times on their hand. They are then supposed to pretend to eat those people by putting their hand in front of their mouth, and this belief will help ease their anxiety. So yeah, it is a folklore. It's official. I knew it was, but I just confirmed it.
Oh, is she like she's Chinese then?
No, it's a Japanese folklore that they say.
She's from Tokyo Ghoul. She's from Tokyo Ghoul, guys. She's from Tokyo Ghoul.
She's a man eater.
Yeah, she's from Tokyo Ghoul.
But no, that is a Japanese folklore. I've seen it in a bunch of other animes and mangas that when people are nervous, they write the kanji for man or person and they eat it.
This is the only one I've ever seen it, but I don't watch that much anime, and I basically when I read manga, typically it's been like I'm gonna reread ones that I like, and then maybe I'll find a new one I like.
That is a mood. I've been doing that lately too with anime as
Guys,
well.
you know we are on a manga podcast about finding new manga, right? So
this is why I made the podcast.
Did you say you hate the podcast?
No, this is why I made the podcast.
Okay.
So I could find new ones myself.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of garbage out there, Jake. You have to really dig for the diamonds. It takes.
There's also a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of diamonds though, and there's a lot of like bronze boys that are like, good enough.
Okay.
There's a lot of good stuff out there, but there's also a lot of like just trash. There's definitely been manga that I've been like, this one looks interesting, and I started reading it, and then I'm like, this is awful.
Hey Google, set timer for 25 minutes.
Is Kevin
Thank
cooking?
you, Google. Yes. While I'm baking a pizza.
So no, he's not cooking. He's just using a frozen pizza.
Come on, I know how to cook. Kind of. I have to know. I will be disowned if I don't know how to cook.
Kevin, can you make eggs?
What type of eggs?
Can you cook eggs?
Depends on the type of eggs. I can make scrambled, sunny side up.
Okay, so you've at least got that. So you can cook.
I know how to make boiled eggs too.
All right.
Okay.
My favorite character is Soma.
See, all of us like Soma. Like,
He's a really good character because he has good ethics thus far. He's good to his friends. He's funny.
So
He's nice.
who would your side person be, Jake?
My
Like,
side person?
Because,
Your second
well,
favorite?
yeah,
Would be Nikumi.
Nagumi. Is that
Mito.
Mito?
Meat.
Oh, meat?
Yes.
Meat,
Oh my
okay.
See, we have
I'm
to
probably
translate
gonna-
for Kevin.
I'm sorry, I'm bad with names,
Kevin has his own language.
I can just see myself in a basement now, chained up, and people just come down. Kevin,
I'm uncomfortable.
He's bringing you into one of his fantasies, Jake. You should feel good about your friendship.
I'll only wear a loincloth, though.
Oh, jeez.
Hot.
No!
That's a look.
No. I don't know why I thought of like you feeding grapes to an emperor on like you know how they feed grapes to the emperors of the.
I try to do that to my roommate. Gabi, do you have a waifu?
We just went over this, Jake.
Yeah, I
Right.
love Megumi.
Megumi.
So cute.
Kevin.
I also like Nikumi though.
She gets so much better later on.
She does, and that's one of the reasons I do like her. And I like this manga a lot too, on how all the characters are so different, and they have so many good different characteristics about them. I really love that about this manga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we ready?
Oh.
Kevin, would
We
you
should
recommend
all-
Food Wars to your friends, to our lovely viewers, our listeners?
Oh hell yeah! I actually watched it with my younger brother.
That sounds. When you don't have the context of how old your younger brother is, it sounds really weird.
Yeah, it does.
Like I'm talking about like Aiden though, so like Aiden and Alex. So
Like how old?
Not like 16 and 18.
Okay, I was like, don't go younger, Kevin. Don't go younger.
Why the heck would I show my 12-year-old brother Food War?
I don't know what kind of an older brother you are, Kevin.
Come on, I have sub-morals.
What
Gabi.
about you, Jake?
Oh, what?
I said, what about you? Because I did recommend it to friends. This was my pick. I recommended it to you guys.
Yeah, you recommended this to me in like 2015.
I did.
Yeah. I knew about it before you recommended it to me because I watched a podcast. The podcast that inspired this one. Years ago. And I would recommend it. It's great. If you're like sensitive to like sexual stuff though, I mean,
Yeah, this is definitely not an anime to watch where your family can walk in.
Yeah, do not, like, big warning, especially for Christian families. Don't
shout out to Gabi.
Oh god.
with parents. Well, I was raised Christian, Jake.
I know. But
Okay. Moving on.
Hey,
What?
would you,
Nope.
What
What
would
would you
you-
rate? Nope. Let me go, Kevin. What would you rate Shokugeki no Soma, Kevin?
well, I have to go based off the anime because I didn't.
You didn't
like,
read. Once again, we got it. What would you rate
Okay.
it?
Okay. So
I'm
to
just teasing
say,
Kevin, by the way. He's had a rough week. I'm only teasing. I don't actually care. What would
yeah,
you?
there was a
What
lot of
would
things
you?
going on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, from what I've seen of the art, I definitely would give it a 3. I would give story a 3 or a 2.9, one of the two. Um, because there were, like, for me, it felt like some of the food explanations were rushed or seemed kind of unrealistic to me
I
sometimes.
think I
With
think that's just because you don't have a background in food stuff, but that's fair.
and so I went over art style. What was the third one? Character development.
Stories, character.
Okay, but I found all the characters really enjoyable, so I have to give it a 3. So I'm going to give it a high 8.9 to 9.
Okay, Jake, what about you?
Um, so I'm gonna give the art a 4
Yeah.
because the scenes where they actually like draw the food, like where you see the food, that food gets me horny.
So you are literally giving a bonus mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. There's a bonus point available to give out.
Oh, I never do that. I'll have to keep that
Dude,
in mind.
basic math. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is what?
9.
9,
How many extra points do you have to get to 10?
1.
There you go. We've
But
explained
I
this to you
didn't.
so many times, Kevin.
I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to the rating system. You gotta
Dude, we've
understand.
used the rating system like 5 to 10 times.
He hasn't been here for like 4 of those though.
Still, though. Okay, Jake.
Okay,
Continue, Jake.
Kevin, Gabby's gonna challenge you to a steel cage match one of these days.
Yeah, I really am.
of
And I'm gonna
what?
win.
A steel cage match.
We're
Oh,
gonna
I think
fight.
I'm too loud.
Kevin, we're gonna fight.
I'm a lover. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Well, I
Unless
think
you have
she's
both.
gonna
terms.
I
win
will
then.
I will destroy you.
Are we talking about a video game match in Legend of
No.
Zelda or Ocarina of Time?
No. A
No,
literal
we're talking
fist
about
fight.
we're talking about WWE Raw.
Oh,
Okay,
but
Jake,
I
keep
don't
going.
feel like getting hit in the back of the head with a chair.
Give him the
We don't need to
chair.
use
Give him the
chairs.
chair. It's a steel
I'm-
cage match. Anything goes. No holds barred.
I can't hit
Oh
Gabby.
my gosh. What would you rate the story, Jake?
A 3.
Okay, and characters.
4. No. 3.
You can't. So
I even
you
counted
give
in
this-
Spanish in my head. It was like uno, dos, tres. All right, 3 is cuatro.
I'm offended as our local Mexican on this podcast.
Hey, I can count in
Clearly
Spanish.
not. You
I'm just
proved
fucking
yourself
idiot.
wrong. Okay,
Uno,
so you
dos,
give
tres,
this
cuatro, cinco,
manga.
seis, siete, ocho, nueve. ¡Ah! Ocho,
So you
nueve,
give this.
10, 11, 12.
So you give
14.
this manga a 10.
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Perfecto. I don't like making things perfect, but this is probably gonna be a 9 or a 9.5 for me. Because the art is beautiful, the people are drawn beautifully, the food is drawn really well, everything is drawn really well. The story, the way it's written and drawn is really good. I love the characters. I talked about that earlier. Everyone is so different, yet so complex. And there's lots of character development for lots of different characters, not just the main characters, which I love when that happens in a story. And it's great. So yeah, 9.5.
So why didn't you give it that extra
Like
1
I
to
said,
0.5 mark?
because I don't like making things perfect.
Mm.
And I give it a 9 because it's just difficult for me. So like The thing that holds me back from giving something a perfect score is because thinking that there might be something better, which is the wrong way to rate something. But I can't help myself.
How much better can you get to having combination of food and porn? Like, seriously.
You can't get much better, honestly.
I have a question. Do you think he draws his own doujinshi?
There
That
is a
would be
couple
kinda,
doujinshi.
Huh?
that'd be
Does he
kind of
draw
weird, though.
Does he draw his own though?
I think so.
If he draws his own, then it's just called hentai.
Well, yeah.
Not a doujinshi. Because if
But
a
those are
doujinshi...
hentai.
Some
Oh,
are.
those are
fan-made.
Whatever. You know what I meant though. That was the point.
It's not necessarily hentai, though.
They're not canon.
Doujinshi.
Then you can argue it that way.
Well, it's not canon, but it's from the creator who made it. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Whatever.
let's do the outro. Gabby, do you have any social media?
Yep. Follow me on Twitter at showmeyourmanga.
You can follow me on Twitter at showmeyourmanga. And you can follow the podcast at sitmanga on Twitter. Or sitmanga podcast on Instagram. And basically look up Stick It to the Manga and you'll find us. You'll find the podcast. It's there. Alright, with that, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, manga fans.